I recently, just in the last 6 or 7 months, went through the end of a relationship, and I would say that during the last 3 to 4 months of it, I was projecting constantly, and I was trying to control the other person. And I was aware that I was projecting, that I was being triggered. I was aware of how controlling I was being. I was aware of how goddamn codependent I am. And I couldn't stop, and I'd catch myself, and again I'd come away saying to myself, okay, there must be a way that I can actually control my behavior, and I couldn't, and I failed, and I failed, and I failed, and I failed. Now, in retrospect, I give myself a little bit more slack because it's so hard. And I think, I tried to walk that line both in the months leading up to the end of the relationship, and also when it ended, I really tried to consciously walk that line between not blaming, not taking care of myself, and at the same time having strong, healthy boundaries. I really tried to find that happy medium between not shutting down, not closing my heart, but at the same time having strong, healthy boundaries.
I like the way Walker was talking about he was actually experiencing something in himself, but in the end he wasn't able to sustain the sense of caring for himself and his bond with his partner. You couldn't sustain the two of those together. And my feeling is that the biggest reactivity that is so difficult is the feeling of humiliation. When you feel that someone else is being contemptuous towards you, and then you feel humiliated, or you could say enraged.
I'm not going to get into the specific behavior that was triggering me, but I'll say that I took his behavior as contempt, and I fed that contempt right back to him. And so now, as I'm sitting here and you're talking about contempt, I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, his behavior, what he was doing that was triggering me, had nothing to do with contempt for me. And yet I took it that way personally, and I hated him for it.
Yeah, well, you're not alone. I mean, I sometimes feel this is like a 12-step or something. Yes, I've done that too. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. And the skill that it takes to work with that is high level skill, you could say, because what has to happen is you have to see your partner in context. You have to see, at some moment, it's almost like looking through the other end of the telescope. You kind of, you realize this person had this childhood, had these things going on, suffered this kind of trauma and so on. And so this person at this moment is contextualized in this whole big thing. And perhaps I'm picking up this as contempt towards me, and maybe even it is at this moment, but is it possible to see this person in this bigger framework the same way I might see my neighbor, or I might see, somebody that I don't feel so painfully and personally connected to.
We're not even taught that we're conscious beings when we're young people, that there's a part of us that can step away and observe what we're thinking and how we're acting. And I think to begin integrating this whole new skill set until hopefully one day maybe it becomes second nature, I don't know. And it's hard. I think we have to just remember that I would call you and talk to you, and you would say the same thing. You would say, this is hard. This is really hard, and you're doing your best.